going to start to close that CME gap here. We can expect at least 2-3x pullback, and then we break through this. Bitcoin is pumping finally to the upside and had a really nice bounce, and now I will show you comprehensive proof why we need right now to start to look at altcoins and get as fast as we can into some positions. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. Really quick, really boring again. The Nikkei in Japan finally reverse candle to the upside. We have a nice Morningstar pattern here. That's the only thing that I wanted to show you quick here when it comes to the Nikkei. That's why the markets overall are going back to the upside currently, and that was exactly what we wanted to see here. By tomorrow, when we get another nice candle to the upside, we will have confirmation that the carry trade for now seems to be out of the window, and that markets have now digested the news that the carry trade is unwinding. So, and that was what we were hoping about, so when this whole thing basically went to shit. Also, the yen is gaining in strength again. Also really positive for us, for the overall market. Here, this area is now, again, support. As long as we close today above 147 yen to the dollar, everything should be fine, and we should continue trajectory to the upside. Also here, potentially with a V-shaped recovery. So why am I today so insanely bullish on the crypto market? Because I have found something that some people have mentioned, but not a lot of people have actually checked what happened the last time when this occurred. And what I'm talking about is quantitative easing. So now when you see this chart or this sheet, you think like, how does this relate to quantitative easing? Let me explain it to you. The US Treasury has announced, kind of like as an emergency, and when it came to the Nikkei and the Japanese carry trade unwinding, that they start to buy back treasury bonds. And how do they do that? They inject liquidity into the markets to buy them back. Now, what happens when you inject liquidity into a market that, I don't want to say dried up, but now has excess liquidity available? This money has to go somewhere. So this money usually goes into risk on assets. What is crypto? Massive risk on asset. And here is something that I wanted to show you that blew my mind. And that is the amount that is flowing into these treasury buybacks when we get the quantitative easing. Here, 500 million, and again 500 million, but also 4 billion, 4 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion, 5, and here again 4. So now, if you add all these numbers up, I have to do that really quickly in my head. 650, 850, 1250, 7050, 2150, 2650, 27, 32, 39, 39, 40, 48, $50 billion in liquidity that will be injected from yesterday, so here operation date, today, so from today until the 31st of October. So really close to the US elections. Now, I wanted to show you the definition of quantitative easing and how much the last time was actually injected when we had quantitative easing. So here, March 2022, the COVID drop. The Federal Reserve began conducting its fourth quantitative easing operation since 2007 and 2008 financial crisis. On the 15th of March, it announced approximately 700 billion in new quantitative easing via asset purchases to support US liquidity in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. As of summer 2022, this resulted in an additional 2 trillion in assets on the books of the Federal Reserve. So now we are only talking about 50 billion. So this is 16 times less than we had the last time. 14 times less. So now if you think about the reflection on the books, that would mean that we are potentially adding 200 billion to in assets on the books of the Federal Reserve. something around these numbers. I have to say, when I prepared this video, I made a mistake. I read, because it's so fucking small, you know, so instead of 500 million, I read billion. That's why I was so excited. We cannot compare now the last quantitative easing, you know, when it started here on the 15th of March, all the way to February 2022, that run with what's going to happen with this run. Because the liquidity that will be injected is not as much as it was last time. So like I said, it was 14 times less is what we can expect, but the markets, what I believe, what we can maybe expect is, actually let me go to current prices. From current levels, so now today is the day where we started, I would say realistically with $50 billion, we can expect at least a 2.5 to 3x. Now, this will not happen by tomorrow. You saw how long we took last time, you know, from March 2020 to summer 2021 to read, November 2021. So that was how long? 19 months before we reached the final top in that quantitative easing process. So now, maybe we're going to continue while inflation comes down and we're getting rate cuts. Don't forget, we also get rate cuts, you know, so rate cuts will also add fuel to the fire to propel Bitcoin to go into these levels. That's why today, when they start with the first treasury buyback, and they do it between 11 and 2 p.m. US time, we should see another pump in the market. Now, what I believe the first reaction of that will be that we are going to start to close that CME gap here over the next couple of days. I'm not saying it has to happen in one go today, but over the next couple of days, I believe that we will come up and close that CME gap, both CME gaps actually that we have here. I believe once we're getting here into the first one, it will directly fill both. It will not kind of stop and starts going like sideways, chop here before we go to the next one. I think it will go in one go up here. So even for Bitcoin, if you want to open a Bitcoin position, I'm going to give you an entry later that you can take advantage of that full move here to the upside to fill the CME gap, because that is right now most interesting short-term trade that we have on the chart with the quantitative easing and that CME gap here that we can potentially trade. So we want to make sure that we are in this trade when it's going to happen. Now, when we go to Bitcoin, you see here the RSI is pointing to the upside. MACD is starting to look a little bit more bullish. If we close today here above that horizontal level of $56,600, it will open us up to move here into the $60,000 area, most likely into this resistance area here of $63,000. So again, I just spoke about this, you know, so it would make sense because we closed the CME gap then. But I want to see here a little bit more confirmation on MACD. So we need maybe until Saturday or even Sunday or Monday to get the final confirmation. But I believe when we are getting there, Bitcoin will be already here close to $60,000. So you want, like I said, you want to make sure that you are beforehand already in a Bitcoin trade, because once Bitcoin starts to move here, also the VPVR, these areas here will act as a magnet for the Bitcoin price on the way up. And I don't even speak about all the short trades that we're going to liquidate, that liquidity that we're going to take out on the way up. So, but for today, we need a close above $56,400. That will be the first confirmation. And tomorrow's candle to move here slightly up, that will be already for a higher time frame horizon, a safe entry. If you are not trading with like 20, 50x, I would not do that currently, you know, so at least not on the daily time frame. Here on this daily time frame, you see also the stochastic RSI starts to point to the upside. And what did I show you yesterday? The trajectory. Also here we are now nice on track to go to the upside into this resistance area. From there, I expect a pullback, and then we break through this and continue into higher levels. The point of control is still at $67,000 approximately. Only then bulls are also full in control again of price action, and from there we are definitely running straight back into no all-time high in my opinion. Where should you look for a potential entry now? I would not even go and do it here. I would go from, where was the last high? Kind of like here. I want to see here. Here we go, guys. Here we go. here we get now a nice entry. So from that swing low to the last high point over here, there you go, $56,400. That is your entry. I don't believe that we come down to the golden ratio, that we get there now on these retracements. But here, $56,400, it's not so far away. That might be your entry. And then on the way up for targets, $67,000 here on the FIB extensions. That's the golden ratio. And look here, how this downward sloping trend line is exactly in the middle of that. So I would actually use that as my take profit, $67,700. So get in $56,400 here on the extensions on the golden ratio when we hit the bottom of it. That is your entry. And then you trade it into the next FIB extension. So again, this will not happen over tomorrow. Potentially you need to hold this trade a couple of weeks, but you should be fine. So what I would do is get in here, wait that we break $58,500, raise your stop loss slightly above the entry, like $57,300, and then let it ride. So you can take profit here the first time around $63,800. Then you take profit at 65, and then you take profit at 67,700. You're completely out, and you can walk away with all the profit. I was also looking at where is the current move coming from. Is it leverage driven? Is it spot driven? And it is actually a mix out of both. But I believe leverage is a little bit dominating right now because the funding rates they were negative until. In the last hour, there was a negative. Now they turn for the first time positive. So we could get a small flush, but then I believe we are going higher. And again, that small flush will give us the opportunity to get into a trade and then ride this to the upside. So just make sure that you're getting in this, So, and again, guys, if you're looking for free liquidity, even it would be $1, I would do it, right now, if I would have no money. On ZoomX, you get $10 just for signing up, guys. I tell you, the pool of these $10 is half already gone. Half is gone of it. Go and sign up right now. Get your free $10 absolutely for free just for signing up and use it to open a trade on Bitcoin. Even if it's only 10x, you can make another $10, $20 when we get to these levels, and this will compound over time. Don't neglect that. If you have no money at all, that is the way to go for you. And if you have some money, you can still get the $10 and $45,000 up worth of deposit bonuses for signing up on ZoomX. A link is for that in the description and in the pinned comment below, guys. And don't forget, this is one of the long-term partners who support the channel by using one of our links down below. Now, when it comes to the liquidation levels, don't want to spend a lot of time on that. Also here, you see $57,000 is a crucial level because also the EMA ribbon is coming down here. We have some long over leveraged long liquidity below us. Do I believe that we are touching this in the short term? Maybe here at $55,000 approximately. Not the end of the world, but currently it doesn't look like that we go immediately there. So here, really important, price needs to break above the EMA ribbon, or at least all the way up to the middle to $58,000 to get continuation. If we get continuation, we'll start liquidating short positions. And remember, all the liquidity is to the upside right now. This is acting as a magnet. You just need to be a little bit patient before we go and grab it. The same when we go here now to the liquidation heat map. You will see more or less the same thing where the liquidity is sitting. See here, hottest area, $61,600. Another indication that we are going there quite quickly and will fill the CME gap, guys, because all the way up here, all the way to like $64,000, there is now, I would say there is maybe $2 billion worth of liquidity. And below us, there's maybe 1 billion, 800 million, something like this. So again, just by looking at liquidity, it's telling me liquidity is to the upside. The highest concentration of liquidity is right now at the $61,000 level. Like I said, big indication that we are going to the upside here in the short term. Then the Bitcoin dominance is raging like I expected. Remember, guys, we were speaking about this. We are about to break the 57.15% level if we close today's candle as it is. As long as Bitcoin keeps going up, expect that we keep going up also here with the dominance. That can all the way go up to like 60% before we see finally the dominance coming down. But I believe that the dominance is here right now in the last move to the upside before it will finally collapse, and we then see the first signs of a bigger altcoin season across the market. Here the RSI Heatmap still looks the same, so if I refresh that, not a lot of coins have changed here. So overall, most of the coins are still here highly oversold on a daily time frame, so it makes sense to get into them. On a 4-hourly time frame, things look a little bit different. There we are neutral on most coins currently, but on the daily, if you have a longer time horizon, these are the coins currently where you want to be in. So, and I also only looked at daily time frames for entries and for potential targets. Again, if you need money, guys, to trade altcoins, go to Bybit. You get $500 absolutely for free, $500 worth of a position. You only need $100 to deposit on Bybit to claim the position. You can immediately after you claim the position withdraw the $100. They don't need to stay there, so Bybit will not keep them or anything. You can withdraw them again after you open the position. And this is the best deal that I have right now for you guys, for free, getting free money, $500 on Bybit with the link in the description below. Sign up there, claim your position. And again, I have proven to you over and over again, even with $400-500, you can make a couple thousand of dollars and then snowball this into much bigger figures. So go and take advantage of that. Then Ethereum, I don't really like these wicks, but I must say, Ethereum is in a special situation, not only because of Grayscale keeping to dump their Ethereum position, but also Jump Trading is basically keep selling their position. So they have sold $23 million worth of their Ethereum already. They have still 66 million left. So there might be still some more sideways chop for Ethereum before we see finally a release here to the upside in terms of price action. So Ethereum is not so lucrative right now, and more like a stable coin because it's basically fighting two fronts, with selling pressure to try to maintain current levels. So here I would wait until potentially next week before I would be looking at an entry for Ethereum. Solana is different. Solana is actually a small beast right now. Look here at the stochastic RSI, completely cooked here on the stochastic. We have a spinning top, which means we will come back down in the short term, most likely for a retracement. Retracement levels where I would open positions from if you're not in a position yet. Golden ratio, and here in that green zone and around the 0.5 level. So because most likely what's going to happen, I've seen this over and over again, price comes down a little bit, goes sideways, maybe comes under the golden ratio, goes back up again, and then reverses. So what does the stochastic at the same time? Comes down a little bit, in the middle turns around, gives a new buy signal, goes up again. That is the most likely scenario for Solana. Unless something crazy happens and Solana just keeps pumping here to the 0.786 and only then turns around. And then still the golden ratio is the level where you want to enter into the next trade in direction of $200. ONDO, I have to pull the Fibonacci extensions to give you an idea. So the first level that we need to look at is the 0.382, and from there when we turn this into support, the golden ratio. So now we want entry levels. Entry levels, we need to look a little bit different. We are currently at a potential entry level at the golden ratio. So if you want to enter ONDO on the daily time frame, it would make sense to do it from here. And then again, the 0.382 is the level that we need to flip. Once we are flipping this, so I would actually take some profit up here. Take some profit up here when we get there. And have your stop loss then at the 0.5 level. Just in case that we are losing it and coming a little bit lower again. Just in case. Because here's this downward sloping trend line. you know, so that could give us also support, resistance on the way up. So we want to make sure that when we go up, that we break this, turn the 0.382 into support and continue to go back above $1. But otherwise here, the indicators are all telling us over the next couple of days, and let it be 14 days, we should be again above $1 for ONDO. Then Telegram, also here you see we're getting rejected at the 0.5 level. The 0.382 will be the level that you're looking at to enter a trade for Telegram, and then also golden ratio, and from there potentially here to that upward sloping resistance line currently. So let me get this back. In terms of setup, how I would play this, I would potentially play this like this. So this is 17.6%, that is more than enough. And I want this one here, kind of like here. So a 2.4% stop loss against a 17.6% take profit point. That is more than enough. So here also on the 4-hourly time frame, you see we start already the retracement, most likely going back to $5.53. From there, we can open a trade and trade this to the upside. So if we lose it, we only lose 2.4% plus the leverage that you potentially use. So again, don't over leverage yourself here. 5 to 10x is more than enough on a position like this. Then GRT also pulling back from the weekly open currently. Here, the 0.15 cent, so the 15 cents 0.57 level is the level that I'm targeting with the trade that I have currently here on the daily time frame. I don't care that we get currently rejected from the weekly open for the simple reason that we got already the take profit signal on the MDX Algo scalp indicator. What I'm waiting for now for more confirmation is a buy signal here, a buy tag. That's what I'm waiting for continuation to the upside. So if you're looking for an entry, wait that we get above the weekly open at 14 cents 0.38. That is your entry level once we're closing a 4-hourly candle above that. And then you can also trade this into the 0.382 or golden ratio or all the way up to 20 cents. These are the targets that I also have on my position here. You see, in terms of the MDX Algo gradient, we are completely cooled down here. So and then once we cool down in the green phase, there's only one way where we have to go, and that is to the upside because price needs to run hot again. If you want the MDX Algo that helped us to make so much money here over the last couple of weeks, guys, don't forget you get 10% discount only with the link in the description below, because I negotiated for my community this discount with the founder directly. Go take advantage of that, because I also don't know when he tells me that he is basically saying, hey, it's enough, you know, so too many people, you know, I cannot afford this anymore. So go and sign up on MDX Algo as fast as you can before that 10% discount is running out. Injective, also, once we are breaking here above $16.40, it becomes a good entry all the way up to like $19.70, and afterwards here into the supply area of $24 to $26 approximately. Once we are breaking this downward sloping trend line, expect that Injective will have a massive run to the upside to $40 and potentially even higher. Here you see also on the indicators we are slowly turning around. The MACD is printing a lighter red candle, which is a signal that selling pressure is leaving. The stochastic is coming up. The RSI is slowly going up, so a lot of indications right now that price is reversing back to the upside. Then RUNE, also here RUNE bounced off old take profit levels that I actually had. Here the next target, if you're already in a RUNE trade, actually let me go to daily time frame. Here again, Fibonacci levels that we are looking at. We need a reclaim of the 0.382. That will become your entry, you know. So I know it's a 10% move to get there, but you want to have a safe entry. Just above there, I would enter. Or if we get a retest to $2.92. So these are your two levels where you can enter for continuation to the upside. Why there? Because also here we have a big downward sloping resistance line. If you look at this here, if price would come up by the end of the month only to like $3.80, I think it will happen much faster. RUNE is pretty strong. Then we will also run into this downward sloping resistance line, and this comes all the way from the top. So this is really a key resistance line. When we are breaking this, I believe $6, $7 will be the next target for RUNE really, really quickly. Like I said, either $2.92 or $3.50. These are the levels from where I would enter this, and then you trade the golden pockets here as your take profit areas. Then also optimism right now just jumped out of a demand zone. I would wait. This also looks like that it's slightly pulling back to like $1.22. If it comes back to $1.22, you can enter this. Otherwise, your entry level will be $1.40. And then all these red lines become your take profit areas or areas where you can add. But I would only add until we break above the 50 moving average here on the daily time frame. After that, I would not add to my position anymore. I would then ride it up to $2.70 if you're on leverage. Then really quick, Fetch AI also here, downward sloping resistance. Once we get the break, expect $2 and beyond. For an entry, you want to look at $1.04, and if it's not $1.04, then you are looking at, for an entry level, I would be looking at $1.04, $1.05, just to be sure. And otherwise, for lower levels, $0.77 is the other level that I would be looking at. These are the two levels that you have to potentially get into this. If you want to play it really safe, like I said, $1.04 is the level that I would be looking at, because you are breaking the downward sloping trend line, and then the next target is all the way up here, at least $2.15, and potentially the last one, Link. Once we're touching here, potentially one more time, $10, let it be $10, good entry level. Here also indicators across the board for altcoins looking more or less the same. Everything is pointing to a big reversal. Here, stochastic pointing to the upside, RSI going to the upside, MACD losing momentum on the sell side to go to the upside. So again, a lot of indications that we are reversing from here. The first take profit point will be $12.48, and then $15, $18, $21. These are the levels that I'm looking at. And that's it for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'm going to see you then again with more profits tomorrow.